this will be our last class before Christmas break. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks after we read this story. This story is called Mooseltoe. The animal in this story is a moose. Moose are cool because they have antlers, just like a reindeer has antlers. We're going to read this story about a moose getting ready for Christmas. The author who wrote the words is Margie Palantini. The illustrator who draws the pictures is Henry Cole. "'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with a tuneful tidings and a flurry of fa-la-la-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had holiday spirit. But Moose was more than just a bit merry and bright. He was busy, busy, busy. There was a lot to be done on his list of to-dos. But with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, and lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple. Yes, in all probability, he wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work. He wrote cards and letters till his hooves hurt. Check. He shopped till he dropped. Check. He hauled home boxes and bags and presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone stacked from ceiling to floor. Check, check, check. He wrapped, yo, 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 and he ribboned, ho, ho, ho. And on each and every package he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. Another look at the list and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out the pots, pans, and bowls. He sifted through stacks and racks of cookbooks. He whisked with his left and spooned with his right. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies. Check. Dozens of cakes, breads, and sweets. Check, check, check. He made jellies, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams. Check, 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 triple check. Yes, yes, so simple, so easy, and but of course, perfectly perfect. Decorations were up next on his list of things to do and get done. So Moose decked the halls, then he spruced up the walls. He beaded and bowed and mousseltoed. He gathered garlands, ropes, wreaths, and holly. He jingled bells, he sang noels. Oh, good golly, this moose was jolly. Check, 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 check. Last but not least, he hung all the stockings, each and every one with special care, and just in time, too. Soon, Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap. And so simple, so easy. And if he did say so himself, Moose thought totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. On that night before Christmas, Mother, Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done. Everything looked beautiful, festive, quite fine indeed. There was just one minor problem, if you will. Oh dear, said the missus as the five stared at one empty corner. Oh my, oh me, oh gee. Pup, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the Christmas tree. Whoops, where would they hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his gifts for the kiddies on Christmas Eve night? So Moose pulled on his galoshes and put on his hat. He would find a tree somewhere, somehow, and that's all there was to that. So out went the moose, braving the blustery, blowing winds and the cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. Moose first hoofed it down to the corner, not a tree to be had. Then he slid around the block. Uh-oh, things were looking bad. He went down every boulevard, street, and little road. He looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even one lousy, bowless bough hanging around. Nope, nada, nothing, not a tree to be found. No tree, sighed a sad moose as he came home empty-handed on that snowy eve. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, "Oh, so who needs a tree?" But Moose could plainly see that they were short on glee. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner he stood and spread his arms out very wide. Then he smiled at his children and winked at his bride. "Kids," he declared, "fetch your forgetful pop, some of that tried and true family glop." So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without another word, they knew just what to do. They curled and twirled every which way a follicle could fathom. They each took part, grabbing strands, taking hold, and then carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped and they plopped and they pasted and they pressed until magnificent Moose's mustache was indeed more of a marvel to see. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from his head to his toes, and they draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shiny and bells that twinkled, candy canes, berries, and plums, sugar sprinkled. Then they all stood back. Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah, yes, Moose was truly one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and oh boy, was he ever so bright. Then Junior placed a star on the top of Moose's head. He gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed. Except Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy. And okay, it wasn't so perfectly perfect. But do you know what? It was pretty close. There's a second set of eyes, and those eyes say, "Ho, ho, ho." Who do you think is there? Okay, so we can see here that this is a moose, and we are going to try to make our own moose. To start, you're going to need to get out scissors, a marker, a glue stick, and 2 pieces of paper. So to make a moose, you start by drawing a big triangle. I drew my triangle upside down because this is where our moose's nose is going to go. Then you're going to cut out your triangle. When we cut, we use our thumb in an up position and we stick the rest of our fingers in the bigger part. I use this hand to guide it, and I use this hand to cut. I am cutting on the line. It's very important that I watch where I'm cutting so that I make sure that I cut out a triangle and not some other shape that doesn't look like a moose. Very good. And then I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to put it on the triangle piece of paper. And I'm going to add it to my big piece of paper. Awesome. My next step is to cut a circle out. Or maybe an oval. Sometimes circles are hard to get just right. This is my moose's nose. So you're going to add your circle on the bottom of your triangle. Very good. Let's look at our moose. He has eyeballs and nostrils and antlers. So we need to use our marker to add all of those things to our moose. To add antlers, we can draw 2 lines going up. And then we can make lines going out from them to make it look like antlers. To draw eyes, we are going to draw 2 ovals. And then we're going to fill in the bottom of our oval with a dark circle. Oh my goodness, and I'm going to add nostrils onto my moose's nose. And what else did he have? Oh, our moose had ears, so I'm going to add 2 ears. Very good. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label it with the sound for moose. The sound looks like this. Moose. Moose. And I need to write my name so that I know that I did this work. We have to practice writing our name every day so that we're really good at it. I'm going to write my name, Miss Conley. Great! I cut out a triangle and a circle, and then I drew 2 ovals for eyes and lines for antlers. I labeled my moose with the letter M, which says and then I wrote my name. I can't wait to see your cool mooses. Thank you. Goodbye.